welcome to Diamond Niners Weekly for the week 14 of the 2023 season. I'm Nick, joined as always by Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Producer Brad, making it all go.
Hey.
Okay, boys, it's Monday night, live on YouTube. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're kind of it. If you're watching out there on the internet and you're just kind of stuck with us tonight. So it's all good though. We can handle this. I promise you, we will get you through this tonight. We're not highly trained professionals, but it's going to be all right. Right, boys?
It's going to be all right.
Yeah. It's another week, another opportunity, right?
Another week, another opportunity. How about what you got, Kevin? Did you have baseball this weekend?
Youngest did, but we did not travel anywhere this weekend.
Okay, so youngest was playing some ball. Now I heard a rumor, Kevin, that maybe some travel ball programs are starting to sniff around your youngest. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Yeah, we've got some official visits lined up. For 7-8, 8U, but I don't know if we're ready for that yet.
Well, just let us know if there's any. Let us break that news here. If there's going to be a commit coming for a travel ball program, let us know so we can break that. We don't get many opportunities to do that kind of thing here live on the air. That'd be pretty cool. We could have Blake come on here. And maybe we could line some hats up with some different travel ball teams, and then you could pick one up. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, I think we're a little premature on that one. So,
okay, all right. Well,
but
producer Brad's always looking for content, and I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, they do have Perfect Game does have 6U national rankings and stuff. So
you would just. One of you would just have to walk off, though. If you pick the wrong team, that would just make it perfect, though. I don't know if you've ever seen that clip. The guy picks I think he picks the Gators over Alabama or something, and the mom walks off.
Yeah, the mom's sitting there in Alabama gear, and she just gets up and walks out. Yeah, I've seen that. So it's a busy time of year. I tell you one thing I did that you might be interested in. On Friday, I went to Charlotte's commencement. Let me rephrase that. I went to one of Charlotte's commencements on Friday, and man, it has changed so much. Even recently, they kind of have changed a few things aesthetically. But for one thing, I don't know if you knew this or not, guys, but they're up to 4. I believe I got this right. 4 ceremonies now. They did 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. I think that's right. I think it's 4, not 5. The one I went to on Friday morning was just they've changed the name of the college, but it's the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. I don't think it's called that anymore. It's called something else. But it was that college, and Halton Arena was packed. I mean, it was unbelievable. The traffic, the crowd in there, and how many people were there. It'd been a while. Well, yeah, it'd been a while since I've been to one of those. And, man, there's just more and more people. I don't know about you guys, but I swear, I think when I graduated, there were 2 ceremonies.
Yeah, there were 2. There were 2 in Halton when we were there, but they recently move it. They were moving them outside. They were outside at the football stadium past couple of years, right?
I guess they're moving back. COVID era thing.
Maybe that was COVID?
I think that was a COVID era thing when they did that one, that one year they did it outside in the football stadium. But yeah, I mean, trust me, Halton hadn't had that many people in it in a while. But the place was packed. I mean, I was up in the rafters, seated up there. I had a couple of students that I taught at RCCC. Graduate from Charlotte now, so they're Niner alums now, and so went to see them walk. So that was really cool. And then on Saturday morning, I was part of commencement at Rowan Cabarrus So I got to put on my faculty garb, Kevin. I should have taken a picture. You'd have had a good time chuckling at me. Me trying to look, educated. It would give the phrase "lipstick on a pig" whole new meaning. Me in academic robes.
No, I got nothing but respect for you when it comes to
that. But yeah,
I would have laughed.
Yeah, I know. I count on you. You can always count on Ken. That's what Ken's for. But yeah, so I did. I did 2 commencements this weekend, and in between tried to catch a little Niner baseball. On the glorious Conference USA TV. Behind in down in Fort Lauderdale.
Let us all celebrate that we have watched our last event on Conference USA TV. Canceled my subscription yesterday as soon as the game was over. I don't know what I'm going to do with that $10.99 next month, but I'm sure it'll go to something. I'm sure it'll go to something good.
Get some chicken wings or something. I don't know. But yeah, you kind of started a thing. You started posting about canceling your Conference USA subscription, and people started like taking pictures of their cancellation emails and posting them. So yeah, you kind of started it's like we've started our own protest where we're.
I feel left out because I canceled mine like at the beginning of the month, knowing that it would run until the end of the month. So I canceled mine too early. So
well, you still got that email in your in basket somewhere, Brad. Go find it. Take a screenshot of it and post it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, yeah. I do have to give them credit. They have made progress. FIU in particular. Last time we went there, they didn't even have video, I don't think. I think we had to listen to radio the whole time for that series 2 years ago. And then a few years back, whenever we went there, you saw that netting. We saw that all weekend. But one time it was like focused in on that netting. So like the background was blurred. I think it had rained or something.
Yeah.
So it was kind of focused in on the wet netting, and it was like a blur in the background. So they have improved, and they had a second camera this time. They would show the batter before he hit, and they put our old logo up. And
yeah, it's only been about 4 years.
Yeah, we've had the logo since 2000. So.
Well,
anyway,
yeah, that logo is since 2000, and the All NC we've only had that for about 4 years, right? And so apparently FIU didn't know, or just didn't care.
They probably the second.
Yeah,
but there were I'd say that was probably the worst in the league over our time there. Other people do better production with Conference USA TV, but
last week after the post-production show, I think this was last week, wasn't it? When we started talking about networks on here, with the three of us.
Yes.
The post-production show last week, which is not recording anywhere, we went all in on how this kind of stuff could work, because there's a lot of contract stuff up in the air. I mean, and it's got to do with realignment and the Pac-12 trying to sign a TV deal and all this stuff. Conference USA TV is a decent idea. I mean, it's not absurd, but with no standards in place and each school left to do whatever they want, it just ruins it. And there needs to be some consistency across like for example, when we go to Conference USA next year, we have to be ESPN Plus. I mean, the AAC, that kind of day. The AAC, we have to meet certain broadcast standards. In fact, a lot of them we've already met. There'll be another one like the AAC dictates that we use a 2-man booth for broadcast, and we'll have to make that change. So, Conference USA TV had potential if there were some standards and they enforced those standards. But as it is, I mean, and Brad, this because we broadcast the exhibition games in the fall.
Yep.
Because we geek out of doing that. The one camera setup, I mean, even we have progressed past that. I mean, last fall, Brad, how many cameras did we have? 3 cameras rolling last fall, and you were cutting back and forth between the shots?
Yeah, that's only because I'm poor and I can't afford more.
Well, and that's the point, is that we're some dudes on the internet. Yeah. And you're producing video qualities better than your average Conference USA baseball broadcast. And it's not that you would think they would be able to come up with a better solution than what most of these schools did. Heck, on Twitch, Ethan is sets up the iPad up there to show the one view, and that he meets Conference USA broadcasting standards right there when Ethan sets it up and does the graphics on the screen, which he does a good job with, and says, this is scrimmage number 4 of the fall, and puts that on Twitch. It's not that what they're doing is not that difficult.
No.
I'm looking forward to next year. We don't have to waste $10.99 a month on a product that you don't know what you're going to get, or if you're going to get it at all. Sometimes they didn't broadcast last year or the year before. So anyway, glad we're going to ESPN Plus. We'll have a 2-man booth. We'll have replay. Replay in the AAC. Yeah, every school's we're gonna have replay available, which I think helps the game. Calls get right, especially with the
Plus up to now.
I don't know. I got a bundle.
Yeah.
You say how much is ESPN Plus?
Yeah, is it like 12 standalone? Is it like $12 now?
No, I think it's still like $5.99 by itself.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of the bundle, but anyway, point being that if you're a Niner fan and you want to catch all these AAC games, you just get ESPN Plus instead of this $10.99 thing that only does that. And ESPN Plus has all this other content. I mean, you can watch all their properties on top of of your AAC games.
Yeah, and get this, Dallas Baptist and UTSA played for first and second place this weekend. It was a national
year in the league. Yeah. Really, it was
a national series. Had a lot of national attention, but it was hidden away on Conference USA TV. So the casual fan, college baseball fan, is not going to pay whatever to watch Conference USA TV. If it's on ESPN Plus, they're going to turn it on and watch it. So that's a missed opportunity for the conference, which doesn't matter to me because we're leaving the conference. But it's just some of the workings of this conference is they just didn't do things the right way. I would say they missed a lot. They missed a lot of opportunities, especially on the baseball side of things.
You know what I want to know is who ended up with our money. I mean, it was through what, Sidearm.
Right.
Did they get most of that? Was that third party taking most of that? And it's basically, as far as I can tell, Sidearm is just a server that they were routing through, and they have a billing interface, and then they have a hosting platform, and everybody. For that matter, you could have just done it on YouTube, because as we're literally proving in real time, any set of idiots can go out live over YouTube.
Yeah, any. I'll tell you what, producer Brad would probably have a top 3 production in Conference USA. on his own with his own equipment.
I appreciate
there's no
that.
doubt about it. Most of Conference USA can't afford producer Brad. I don't know how we do, but Conference USA can't afford producer Brad.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I could put together a pretty small package that wouldn't cost them that much money to get them streaming with at least 3 cameras.
Yeah.
So
if you're out there, by the way, we got a few folks tuning in. Hey, jump in the chat. You know what? Heck, if you're out there hanging with us tonight and you've like really got something on your mind, heck, drop us a line. Send me your email. I'll send you a link. You can just come on here and talk to us.
Are we taking callers? We're taking callers.
Yeah,
huh?
we'll take callers, Kevin. I don't care. Just drop in here. Get us. We just need an email address to send you a link, and we'll take callers. Why the heck not? We're just hanging out on a Monday night. Quite frankly, it's been between last week, getting through the end of the semester, and then the graduation weekend with everything that entailed, and on top of the Niner baseball and Niner softball. By the way, shout out to the Diamond Niner gals, just made history, got their first ever NCAA tournament bid for the school just last night. That came down there, and they're a 2 seed on top of that. First time in the tournament, they're a 2 seed. So really cool thing for them. And it's just been a weekend, man. I'm just kind of unwinding here with you guys.
Well, let's talk a little baseball.
Let's do it.
Niner base. Let's go ahead and knock it out, and we get rolling. But we actually have a lot of things to talk about that we lined up. So let's get into the series. Niners went down to Miami, took on FIU for the final time. FIU is going to remain in Conference USA. They're not moving on to the AAC with us, so we'll not see them again unless it's out of conference. So Friday night, we go down and Wyatt Hudapole didn't get a great start from him. Normally, I mean, this year he's been outstanding. We've talked about him a lot on the show.
Yeah.
He had an outstanding season, but he just didn't have it on Friday, and had a rough start and never really recovered from that. So start out the series 0-1, bounce back the next day, and jump in anytime, Nick, you want to add any commentary. But I'll go through these games real quick, and we can talk about them as a whole. Saturday, Cam Hansen gives us a good start. We were up 3-0 in the 7th, and we just couldn't close the deal, couldn't close out on the mound. Ended up getting walked off 4-3, lose the series, and then Sunday came back, bounced back, got a kind of we jumped away, pulled away pretty early, and kind of held them off. I don't think the game was really ever that close, but well, yeah, it was. It was tied up actually.
It got hairy.
Yeah, it was tied up early in the middle innings, and Paxton Thompson had a good outing on the mound in relief, got the win. So we salvaged game 3 of the series. Wasn't a great weekend, but we got 1 out of 3. And looking at the standings, we fell out of 3rd. We're in 4th now by a half game. Western Kentucky kind of jumped over us, but Niners kind of been, they've past 3 weeks has kind of been hit or miss. They've struggled a lot. It hasn't been just one thing either. It's kind of one thing at a time. One day it's something else. One day it's this. One day it's that. It's just you never know. I mean, it's kind of inconsistent down the stretch.
Yeah, it's like the Forrest Gump principle, right? You know, life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You know, here's what I think about. Okay, and every year, especially now in the way college sports is going with the transfer portal and I mean this is college sports across the scope. It's very few teams that are going to have the same guys, close to the same mix of guys year over year over year. Okay, that era of college sports has kind of gone by the wayside. I mean, heck, look at our basketball roster, not to make the comparison, but look at our basketball roster with the continual, rebuild and reload every year. And it's just where college sports is. And I say that to get to the point where I can say that every year truly is a different team. It has a different personality and a different feel to it. Right. And,
Right.
That when people talk about Charlotte baseball, especially in the Woodard era, everybody goes back to that 21 team. And for good reason. I mean, that 21 team made the tournament as an at-large and was within an eyelash of winning that regional in Greenville. But it's so funny because that group of guys, for one thing, we had those COVID seniors like Todd and Carson Johnson. We had some really experienced guys on that team. And they were leaders behind the on and off the field, those guys. We had old dudes like that. We had some holdovers like David McCabe. We had a freshman like Nate Furman, who kind of emerged during that season. You still had Matty Brooks. You still had
McGowan.
You brought in, Bryce McGowan emerged as a Friday guy. You brought in a P5 transfer in Austin Knight, who just goes and starts rewriting record books. It was an insane mix of guys that just came together and they clicked, But I got to tell you, talk about the inconsistency and this season and where we're at. And some people, when they hear me say this, are going to say, "What, is he crazy?" This team, this year, this roster, there are some things this roster doesn't have that one did. Okay, some glue guys. Honestly, that 21 team had some glue guys, and I think that had a lot to do with the success we had. But people want to come back to talk about pitching. I would like to take this year's pitching staff and pair them with that 21 team. Because I would tell you, in my personal take, this is just me, I'm not saying this is the gospel. I think this year's pitching staff has more pitchability to it than that team in 21 did. And could go a lot deeper. Just me, just my opinion. But it's funny. Different groups of guys come together different ways. And every time this team has kind of needed a bounce to go its way, it really hasn't. And in 21, it's like we got every bounce up until we didn't, right? In Greenville. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, how different groups of guys come together differently, other than just personalities and make up some different guys. But there are some things I like about this team better than I even like about that 21 team. And everybody keeps going back to, well, how come we can't be like the 21 team again? Just my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with some of that. I think we're deeper on the mound. I think the staff's kind of honed in their recruiting a little bit on the pitching side. And I think I don't know. Like you said, each team's different. Gone are the days that we're going to have a senior day when we have a freshman that went all 4 years to Charlotte. Because when you look, we're going to have senior day this week coming up, and they're from all over. I mean, they're none of the seniors started here. They didn't start here as freshmen. So it's a new age.
I mean, it's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. But we all got used to basically you honored a senior class as a recruiting class. These guys came in together, they played together, they went out together for the most part. I mean, you always lose guys along the way, but not like it is now.
Right.
Not like it is now.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be a different team every year, and even more so than it used to be. With the transfer portal, you've got people they're specifying on being transfer portal recruiting coordinators.
Mm-hmm. Softball's already done that.
Yeah, they've split off into high school recruiting and transfer portal recruiting. So anyway, that's where we are. You want to look at where we are in conference?
What I want to round up that
Okay.
comment about the inconsistency is, I think if you're a Niner fan, what this does for you, and if you're watching us, you're a Niner fan, maybe that the same team that quite frankly, let's just be honest, the same team that is struggled to put it all together the last couple of weekends is the same team that beat South Carolina, that beat Coastal. So it would be, I would feel far differently. And Kevin, as well as I do, we have been there where we were sitting there watching teams that we just knew didn't have it. It hasn't been in the last few years, but we've both lived that. This team, everything you've said, and everything we've said, I think is legitimate. But they also have shown that they're capable of putting it together. And that's what conference tournaments are all about. We just saw over this weekend with the softball tournament, Middle Tennessee won it. Middle Tennessee was nowhere near close to being the best team in the league from a softball perspective this year.
Yeah,
and
they
put it together at the right time.
Yeah, the 6th seed. They were 6th seed. They had to win 7 games. They won 7 games in like 4 days. And they had, I think, 5 games were 1-run games. So, they got hot at the right time, and then they raised the trophy at the end of the week. Anything can happen in these tournaments. But yeah, and we're certainly capable of getting hot at the right time.
Yeah,
and hopefully, speaking of middle,
that's hope, right? That's what you're talking about is the potential to do that.
Yeah, and speaking of Middle Tennessee, we got them coming in this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday series to end the season. We got a lot on the line. We're half a game out of third, the 3 seed. 3 through 7 in our league is separated about a game and a half right now. So we've got, there's a cluster of teams right there. We could finish anywhere from 3rd all the way to 7th, and just depending how this series goes. So yeah, it's going to come down to the wire. Dallas Baptist, they clinched the 1 seed this weekend by beating UTSA. I think UTSA is clinched that 2 seed. So everything else is up for grabs this weekend. The only place we can't finish other than 1st and 2nd is 8th. We can't finish 8th. So it's going to be a lot of scoreboard watching this weekend, I believe.
Clearly you want to be 3rd. You just do. You could make the argument that in the end you're going to have to beat everybody if you're going to win the tournament, and that's
right.
True. But, just from a momentum standpoint, you want to finish 3rd.
And we're going to be playing in that group. You're going to be playing the same. You're going to be playing someone from that group 3 through 6 probably anyway to start out. But I think Western Kentucky, they got a half-game lead on us. They're at Dallas Baptist this week, so we got a good shot.
That's going to be a tall task for them.
Well, they've won like 9 in a row, or 11 out of 12, or something like that. Western Kentucky has, and then FAU is right behind. FAU is a game behind us, and or a half game behind us, and they are playing at UAB. And then Middle, we play Middle. They're one of those teams in that group right behind us. And La Tech, I forget where they're playing. La Tech is
UTSA.
Yeah. Okay, so they're playing UTSA. So I think what we got to look out for is FAU over UAB. And but hey, we take care of our business. If we take care of our business, then we don't have to worry about that. I think we can clinch the 3 seed. Certainly with this week, we control our own destiny as far as a 3 seed. There's a possibility of clinching it with 2 wins, but I think 3. It's going to take 3 to clinch it.
And I think if you talk to anybody on the team, I know if you talk to anybody on the team, they'd say, no, we're going to get it all. We're just going to go win 3 and not worry about it. Win 3 and head to the crib, right?
Right. So speaking of cribs, Rice is hosting this year. There's currently a 3-way tie at the bottom of the league for that 8th and final spot in the tournament.
They're playing FIU this week, who they're tied with, and they have the tiebreaker over Rice. Or I mean UAB. They have the tiebreaker over UAB.
So UAB, Rice, and FIU are sitting at 7-20 in conference right now, fighting for the last spot. And Rice is the host. They're hosting FIU this weekend, and man, that would not be good if the host team did not make the tournament, especially for attendance numbers, I guess, or ticket sales down there in Houston. But yeah, it's crazy how it's going to come down to the wire in this league, especially with 3 through 10.
I got to say, I think that where Rice is in these standings and 7-20 in the league is one of the more surprising things this season, because they seem to have been building some momentum, and then they changed their pitching coach this year. Coach Cruz did, and early on it seemed like, hey, Rice is looking like, they weren't a threat to win the league, but I certainly didn't have them 7-20 entering league play. That's not where I would have put them. But yeah, you start to wonder if they don't. This is this year 2 or 3 for Cruz?
This will be year 2, I believe.
Yeah, year 2. Man, you wonder at what point does he start to feel some pressure?
Yeah, I don't know. And on the other end, another big surprise is Western Kentucky. They've got a new coach. Yeah. They started out, they lost their first 4 series in conference, and then they just won the last 5. They won the last 5 series, and they kind of. I didn't expect them to be at the top of the conference this year at the beginning of the year because they had a new coach. FIU also had a new coach, so that's been the biggest surprise for me.
They're a gritty team. I mean, to their credit, they're just now one. They pitch really well. Their offense. I don't think their offense is really anything to write home about, but they know how to manufacture a run when they need to, and they can do that. So that plays pretty well, I think. But at the top, Dallas Baptist and UTSA. That's not. I don't think that's any surprise. We knew Dallas Baptist was going to be really good, and we knew that San Antonio was bringing a lot back as well. The only thing that concerns me as far as the league goes is San Antonio. You're seeing various projections. San Antonio's case for an at-large bid might not be as good as their case was last year. Honestly,
it's not. They're 60 RPI right now, and they were 40 last year and didn't get in.
Yeah. Now they're 60.
And yeah, it's definitely not as good. They did make it to the championship game and conference tournament last year with a 40 RPI, and they beat the 1 and 2 seed also in that tournament. So, yeah,
for their trouble, they have to go home.
Yeah, and I keep seeing them get projected as last week they were projected as a 3 seed in the regional. They were one of the last 4 in, and then they got swept at home against Dallas Baptist this past weekend. So you got to wonder now if we're just a 1-bid league unless someone else wins the tournament besides Dallas Baptist.
It feels that way. So when the Niners win the tournament, we'll be the second team out of Conference USA with Dallas Baptist. That's my take on it.
That's the way it needs to happen, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. So that's the look at the conference. It's gonna be a fun weekend, I think. Kind of watching how it all plays out, especially that 8 seed to see who is the last team in. And hopefully it'll be Rice, because without the host school in it, it's kind of it affects attendance, obviously, for the tournament. The casual baseball fans in Houston, they're likely not going to come out to see if Rice isn't in contention.
Should be an easy trip for Dallas Baptist folks. You would think. Was that a couple of hours?
Yeah, I think so. I've never been to Texas, so I'm not sure. But yeah, you got
You've
UTSA,
never been to
Dallas
Texas
Baptist.
at all?
Never been to Texas.
Man, Toby Bicknell and Craig Keuchel and probably Boo Vinoy are ashamed of you.
Well, they should be. Especially, yeah. Well, especially being in this conference. I hadn't made it to Texas yet. It's kind of surprising. Well, all the tournaments are held in Texas. The basketball, the baseball.
Okay, it's a little further than I thought, Kevin. It's about 3.5 hours.
3 hours.
Three.
Still,
it's 200.
That's not close enough.
3.5 hours. That's way closer to me and you, brother.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, they keep moving it further and further away from Charlotte. Hey,
well,
good news.
Next
Next year, Clearwater Beach, Florida. I think spring training home of the Phillies. That's where the AAC tournament is held. So I might go ahead and make some reservations for that tournament.
Oh, so two things with that. One, neutral locations are awesome. They just are. It's like you're legit when you're playing your tournament at a neutral site. And two, Clearwater is not as Arthur once said, it doesn't suck. That and with it being there every year, and plus, just for me, this applies to no one else, I don't suppose, but Cabarrus County Schools, where my wife works, is getting their academic calendar more in line with the community college system, and so she'll be done next year, and I think we're just gonna we'll both be done with the academic year, probably teaching summer school online, but packing up the camper and just head to Clearwater.
Well, that'll be good. Because I am affected by
deal with that. I think I can deal with a yearly trip to Clearwater.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a shortened summer this year, Cabarrus County Schools. But if the payoff is being able to go to Clearwater Beach, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's what I told Emily the other day. She was telling me, man, it's going to be a short summer. I'm like, yes, but it's for a good cause. This is for us. This is what we've been wanting for years and years, was to get our calendars more in sync. But yeah, that's I think we can make that happen. Can't wait. Not, Houston's just so far, but after going to Ruston and Hattiesburg last 2 years, woof.
Yeah, Clearwater Beach looks a lot better than that.
I'm down with that. Point to make, you kind of alluded to it, with the schedule, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about tomorrow at South Carolina, because we need to talk about that. But before we forget, the Middle Tennessee series this week is Thursday through Saturday in preparation for a conference tournament. So Thursday night, 6 o'clock at the Hayes. Friday night, 6 o'clock at the Hayes. Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Hayes. The softball team, Kevin, on that Friday plays in Durham at 2:30. I'm weighing whether or not I can do the double dip. Be in Durham for a game at 2:30 and then get back to the Hayes. Maybe not at first pitch, but say maybe third inning.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. Let's go to everyone's favorite segment, the promos. The promos for the weekend.
Do we have promos?
We do.
Oh, by the way, Kevin, I think I forgot to tell you. I have for you, Kevin. I have for you two packs of Pack 4 trading cards. I think there's how many packs are there supposed to be? Is it 7?
Yeah, it's supposed to. They were supposed to give away trading card pack 7 on Sunday versus Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, well, they're on Pack 4, and I got you Pack 4. I never saw Pack 3. I'm not even sure they exist, but I got you for you and your boys. I got Pack 4. I got you, fam. I just
thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I'm going to add that to the Niner collection. So
yeah.
So promos for this weekend. Thursday is rain poncho giveaway. Fridays.
What?
Fridays, there's no giveaway, but it is Friday Night Flight. You get 1 domestic beer or seltzer, hot dog, bag of popcorn for $15. And then Senior Day is Saturday. They're giving away CLT baseball trading card special pack. So it'll be a special
pack.
Card
is this like the season amendment after people have been traded?
Well, yeah, like the Topps traded set.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's a special set. I mean, I'm guessing it's. I would guess there are probably some seniors in that pack.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the promos for the upcoming weekend.
So we just need to find Pack 3 and 5 and 6.
Yeah. So it'll be nice getting there on Thursday. Thursday will be nice getting there.
To get a poncho.
Well, Thursday and Friday night being at the Hayes will be nice. It's because I'll be out of town Saturday, so depending on what time I'm playing on Saturdays, whether or not I'll be able to make it Saturday to the Hayes, but hopefully I'll be able to make it for Senior Day. I always enjoy being at that and seeing the seniors honored before the game.
Yeah, sure. That's always great. We've talked about the conference in Middle Tennessee. Let's skip backwards here because we need to talk about tomorrow, Tuesday night. I believe this is Diamond Niner Report road trip, right? We're in. We're locked in for Columbia tomorrow.
That's what I thought.
Okay. So
Producer Brad, you're rolling too?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to Columbia. That game is at 7:00 on SEC Network Plus. So if you've got, should be able to watch that if you've got ESPN Plus. If you want to listen to Joe's call to go along with it. You can still get that on Conference USA TV for free. But Kevin and I will try to reprise our roles as home run watchers out there on the right field berm. Last year, Hop hit one right over our heads. We got some SEC network screen time, so we'll see if we can reprise our roles.
Yeah, look for us. We'll be wearing green on SEC network. So
yeah, we'll be the guys wearing green. That's a good ballpark. I mean, they spend a lot of money on that. I mean, it's a minor league baseball quality park that they play in, and it's an easy trip to get down there. We own a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah,
over the Gamecocks.
That's right. Kind of jumping around a little bit. You mentioned Joe Templin, and I thought of this. I did listen to him a little bit this weekend. He said Joe Girardi was out there sitting in front of him in the stands. I guess his son is, as you know, plays for FIU. So, yeah, he was talking about that on the radio broadcast. So I got kind of frustrated with not being able to see anything. So I just turned the radio on so I could listen to someone I knew at least telling me what was going on in the game.
Joe does a good call, honestly.
He does.
We're going to have him on the show. We've talked to him about getting on here. It just hasn't worked out. The scheduling hasn't worked out, but we're going to get Joe on here. I think it would be awesome to hear him go through like the ballparks that he's broadcasted from. Because what people don't always realize, like this weekend, Joe was sitting in the stands. I mean, he was just in the stands, like a spectator with his laptop and a microphone. and
yeah. So at least he had a tent. They gave him a tent at least, and it was comfortable. But I remember 2 years ago, Sean Fox. That's why I'm laughing. But he was out there, like it was nasty weather, and papers were blowing all over the place, and it sounded like the speaker was right in his face. That's where we heard that.
Was the Pump It Up game. That was the Pump It Up series. Every
between every at bat, and it sounded like it was right in his face the whole time. So yeah, and another place, UTSA. I think Joe was sitting in the bleachers, broadcasting that one. You could hear people yelling and heckling the umpire right next to him on the broadcast. So yeah.
And then was it San Antonio? And I don't exactly remember what. There were 2 women. I think it was San Antonio. There were 2 women sitting in the stands having a conversation about things that they probably just didn't want us listening to over the radio. And they were oblivious to the fact that the microphones were picking this up. And there were these 2 women talking. See, if Joe was here, he'd probably remember it. But I think it was San Antonio. I was like, what? But, it looked like I've never been there. Okay. I have not been to FIU's ballpark, and I guess I never will. Ain't that a shame? But from the pictures I saw, not the field, but the facility itself looked like it was okay. But who designs a ballpark without a place for a visiting broadcaster? I mean, that seems like that would be like one of the first things you would do.
Yeah, especially you don't put them in the stands too. You don't know what you're going to get with. You mean, can you imagine if someone set up shop next to us at the Hayes, like set up their broadcast right next to us?
Might be awesome.
It probably would be, but we would definitely be on that broadcast. But
you'd never hear us because we're right next to the student section, the gold mine. You wouldn't hear us at all, really, honestly. But I still say maybe maybe one of these days we'll do this. We should just do this show live during a game, just like
okay.
Wouldn't that? I mean,
people do that all the time. People do that all the time now. Yeah, they do watch parties and people can. I don't know. I think away games would be more people might tune into it more if we
Like
did
if
it
we
away
got
game.
like the patio up there, the Eric Walker suite, set up on the patio and just set at the rail and just watch the game like live on YouTube and just, I don't know, could be good.
Yeah, people can mute the broadcast. Listen to us.
I don't know if we want to go that far. We would be like the Mystery Science 3000 mystery. What is it? Brad, help me out with that.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, we would be that version of the game.
Well,
Us sitting down in the front row, you'd see our silhouettes from the back, and us commenting on the game.
I thought you were going to say Beavis and Butthead, but I'll take that better.
Well, or that it could be like that too,
Well, you look at Sunday Night Baseball. Sunday Night Baseball, they've got the Michael Kay and Alex Rodriguez broadcast on, I think, ESPN2. You can watch them having a talk show while the game's going on.
Who are you, Peyton and Eli?
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
That's what I was thinking of.
Well, that's what they do. They do that with the K-Rod, or what do they call it? Yeah.
So
K-Rod.
we'd be the alternative broadcast, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that could be. It could be something.
I'm down with that. Let's set it up.
Hey,
for these road games, and I'm not talking about Joe's broadcast because Joe's what we want to hear, but for some of these road broadcasts, it would be a dramatic improvement for whatever they're broadcasting. Because some of these guys,
I've already told you I'm down for making a production truck, vehicle, whatever you want to call it, and driving around.
Production / tailgate rig.
Hey, let's do it. I'm sure we can make this happen. We got some people that are,
and
some friends.
But the guys at Western Kentucky, if anybody thinks that we talk off topic sometimes, watch a Western Kentucky game. Jeez.
Yeah. They got a little inappropriate.
At least we're still talking about baseball. We might get off topic, but we're still talking about baseball, or at least Charlotte. My gosh.
Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of off topic, I got a couple of things we can talk about that we need to talk about.
Let's do
this week. Cam Fisher. He hit his 40th home run, career homer this weekend. He is now moved into second place all time as 49er. I believe he has, he's second to James Madden from 1998. He hit 48 homers in his career. So Fish is 8 behind him. And Fish is also second in the single season home run record. He's got 22 now on the season. The record is 27. So Fish is all on in second place now, and he's gonna have to start. I mean, he's gonna have to get hot to kind of break that record. But he's got at least 4, 6, maybe 8 games left. Eight or more. We'll see. He's got a shot. If he gets hot, he's got a shot at the record. But he's just having a heck of a season at the plate. I think he's top 5 in home runs in the nation still. So yeah, it's fun watching him hit. I think we talked about it a little bit before, but kind of take it for granted now that he's. He's hit so many home runs this year.
Yeah,
something that the Niners haven't seen since we were in school. That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Yes. Longer every day. Somebody might want to disagree. Well, people disagree with me all the time, and that's fine. It's a good thing. But I think, Kevin, one, we'd have to look at the number of games, but James Madden played 4 years. He played all 4 years here?
I believe so.
Cam has played far less games. But for me, the deciding factor to lean towards Cam Fisher on this, not that you really can't compare, like it's not like who had the better home run numbers, but you got to remember that those numbers from when we were in college, they were using a different bat. They were using softball bats. But I mean, one thing I'm gonna tell you, I mean, that we witnessed that in person. But James and Bo Robinson, them boys were beating on baseballs. The term I've used of this, they were beating baseballs like they owed them money.
Yeah, that was the Gorilla Ball era for sure.
That was the Gorilla Ball era when games in Omaha at Rosenblatt were 16-12.
Yeah.
On the regular, and this is a different era with a different bat, and Cam is still producing that kind of power. I think that I'm not trying to say that this is better than that, but I think it's a testament to what Cam has done with the type of bat we're using now, that he's put up those kind of numbers and would get anywhere near anywhere near James in this era. It's impressive. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right. And speaking career numbers, Cam's also right now he's sitting in fourth place all time slugging percentage, 661. That's pretty impressive as well. And what does it say? He's got an on base percentage. I believe he's up there as well with
he's
44th. Yeah, 44th in the country in slugging percentage and 87th in on base percentage. So, he's having a heck of a season offensively, making some plays in the field as well. So, just thought we should talk about him a little bit and kind of not take that for granted. This season, he's having a season for the ages offensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's special. Good Lord willing, we'll be sitting here, in another 20 years talking about, but remember Cam Fisher kind of thing. You just don't, you don't say that every day, but he has produced that kind of power. It's really impressive. And for sure, we're going to need him to. We're going to need some more of that here over the next couple of weeks to accomplish some goals here, starting with getting that 3 seed this weekend. So we've talked about the week ahead. Do look for us on TV. If you can't join us, if you can't come with us, like Jimmy Touchstone was all in on going with us to Columbia, folks, and then he backed out on us. I'm just throwing that out there. Jimmy kind of backed out on us, but it's all right. If you want to join us down in Columbia, we'll see you there, and then we'll see you at the Hayes this weekend. You want to hit a couple of Pro Niner notes before we wrap this up, Kevin?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I think we talked about Dave McCabe. We had Dave McCabe on the show recently. He had another homer this week. There's a picture. They got a couple other guys went to see him when he was in K-Town, Madole and Lancaster and Ethan. There's a good picture of them with McCabe. He is currently batting. Let's see. He's batting .250 right now with 4 homers, 16 ribbies. So doing well. And I think I saw on Instagram today that Bryce McGowan was getting promoted to there's Geesting. He's getting promoted to Spokane High A. So he was with the Fresno Grizzlies, and I think his ERA was like under 1. And of course, every day we see Nate Furman highlights. He's like on base 4 or 5 times a game, it seems like. So he's making his presence felt in Lynchburg with the Hillcats there. Let's see. You showed Geesting. Geesting had another start. I think he had a pretty good start this week as well. But they've been lengthening him out a little bit more and more each week. He's got, I think he's up to 4 or 5 innings now.
Mhm.
So they're letting him pitch a little more. So out in Hillsboro, Oregon, the Hillsboro Hops. So
They've got some cool
Yeah.
gear.
yeah, I like their logo and everything. You saw the bright green jerseys there. Quentin Martinez, he's doing his thing out in what is it? The 66ers, Inland Empire for the Angels. He's he gets about 2 relief appearances a week, and he's making the most of his opportunity. Josh Malchieski, he's still listed as on the injured list, so with the Yankees, should be in Double-A pretty soon, I'm thinking. And then Aaron McKeithen with Peoria Chiefs. He's been mostly DHing, I've noticed, and hadn't been behind the plate as much this year as he has DH. So I'm not sure what's going on, but then we got Zach Jarrett. He's here. He's nearby in Gastonia with the Honey Hunters in the what is it? The Atlantic League.
Yeah,
So he is.
Atlantic League.
They're just 2 weeks in, and he's already had a few homers with the Honey Hunters. And then last we've got Reese Hampton. He's on tour with the Savannah Bananas. He's a member of the Party Animals, the team that the Bananas play every night on their tour. And he's I think he was leading their tour in homers and average and stuff like that. But they will be in Kannapolis in the next month or so. They're going to be in Kannapolis this summer, and I think they're going to be in Durham as well. But tickets are hard to get. I put my name on the wait list for that. And man, they're selling for like $200 a piece on the secondary market for those games, which is crazy. Anyway, that's Banana Ball. If you don't know about Banana Ball, Google it and you can watch one of their games. It's not baseball, but it is Banana Ball, and it's entertaining for sure.
I think, speaking of ESPN Plus content, I think that's where the documentary about them is, right?
Right, it is, and Reese has got a lot of screen time in that as well. He was with the Bananas last year, and he switched sides. He's with the Party Animals this year.
Yeah,
It's like pro wrestling.
It's like they're like the Washington Generals, except he wanted to play for the Party Animals because it's their job to try to win.
And they do win. They do win sometimes.
Yeah,
they're not the Generals. They win. But how that works is each inning is a game. So every inning there could be a walk-off. So it's different. It's not baseball, that's for sure. But it kind of looks like baseball, but it's more.
Hey,
I don't even know how to explain it. It's everything else. Everything else. Dancing, entertainment. It's entertainment.
I applaud. What's that guy's name? Is it Jesse something?
Jesse Cole, maybe Jesse Cole.
Yeah. He hit on something. He's definitely a showman. He's kind of a modern P.T. Barnum, and he's hit on something. And I would guess he's making a good bit of money on it. And I applaud Reese for earning a paycheck with the organization. But like people paying, like you said, people paying $200 on the secondary market to see it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's my kids love it. My kids get on their YouTube channel all the time watching highlights. They got dancing umpires, people on stilts, flaming bats, ping pong,
walk-up dances.
Yeah, all kinds of dancing. But anyway, yeah, and that all started in Gastonia, where Jesse Cole owned the Gastonia Grizzlies and the CPL. And they started the tuxedo jerseys where the Grizzlies were wearing. And they had the dancing and stuff. And then he bought the Bananas. He bought the organization in Savannah. And the rest is history. He's doing well for himself.
You know, I would just be impressed if we could get some umpires that could call balls and strikes. I don't really think I need them dancing. I mean, let's get one thing right at a time. And they haven't really figured out balls and strikes yet, a lot of them. So,
Yeah, I agree.
That's all. That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
But that's a good Pro Niner update. Follow us on Twitter. We tweet out the highlights usually of what's going on in the pro ranks for our guys.
And we'll do after college baseball season is over, whenever it happens to be, we'll do a Pro Niners episode in the summer where we just update everybody. And I think you can count on, and I think Nate is in Kannapolis first week of June. I think you can count on us trying to bring you a Nate Furman interview. We got to start working on Big Firm, but we got to get him. We got to get him on here the week he's coming to Kannapolis, because that'll be a lot of fun. But all right, so we're going to South Carolina tomorrow. We'll figure out logistics in the post-production meeting. And then we'll be at the Hayes starting Thursday night, potentially running back and forth between Durham to see softball team in the NCAA tournament, playing Campbell at 2:30 on Friday afternoon. First NCAA tournament game in school history for the Niner gals. Then senior day on Saturday, and then we'll have some tournament seating. By this time next week, we'll be talking about a tournament bracket. It's that time of year already. Seems like we kind of just got started, boys, but here we are.
Yeah, our last regular season show, pretty much.
I guess that's one way to look at it. It's the last regular season show of season 6. Season 6 of this show. It'd be season 7. We'll have to figure out if we're going to start doing a show a month in the off season. We'll have to figure out, where do we draw the line? When does season 6 become season 7? We'll have to figure that out. That seems like an important thing to decide. We need to take our time with that.
That's very important.
Well, heck yeah, it is. Continuity is important. I feel like Professor Brad's going to have some perspective on that. Maybe that's what we'll talk about in the truck on the way to.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you're coming down to Columbia, come say hey to us. We'll be out there. I don't want to take your closing thoughts, but
that's say hello. We love that. We love seeing people and hanging out. So look for us on the outfield berm, looking for home run balls or something like that. All right, folks, we're out of here. Look for this podcast wherever you find your podcast. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click turn on notifications. Be notified of new content. You can always find us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, never TikTok. Reach out. We love hearing from you folks if you're also at the ballpark. For Kevin, for producer, this is Nick saying, we'll see you at the Hayes.